Our podcast tonight is sponsored by Notion and their new Notion agent.
Yes, it's almost Halloween, and it might be Halloween by the time you see this. Welcome to the PC Perspective Podcast. We're at episode 842. This is being recorded on October 29, 2025, and I'm Sebastian Peak.
I'm Jeremy Hellstrom.
I'm a ghost. Look at how pale I am. Josh Walrath.
Nothing going on up here tonight. I'm Brett Van Spoonberg.
And I'm Kent Burgess. Welcome to our little party.
You don't know the power of the red background.
True.
I went
And the
green
Spirit
for
Halloween
NVIDIA.
costume. Not a sponsor, by the way. You can find out how to support PC Perspective by going to patreon.com/PCPer. Brett, would you like to explain this process to our listeners?
You mean the process of how I pick these particular names? Or
No,
how
I want to know the
elect-
12-step process of giving us money. There has to be 12 steps.
It's you go to your friendly neighborhood internet supported Patreon site, which is patreon.com. You throw in a little bit of a /PCPer on that, and you'll end up at our page where you can elect to put some coinage in the slots. Virtually, of course. And then we will call out your name with various levels of enthusiasm, maybe repetitively, if we think that you need more embarrassment or you're using a particularly clever name. We might kind of riff on that a little bit. But this week, I want to call out a few special patrons because they went back and made sure to show a little love, show a little enthusiasm on last week's show. That's James F., Gary M., Sean M., and Steve R., and throwing it back to a longtime supporter, P. Slater. Did I think I said that right? Slater? Slater. Yeah. Thanks for
You said it enough times. I'd hope so.
P. Slater.
Yes.
It's not the same as Christian Slater. That's different. He is also a supporter. No, he's not. But he would be if he watched this show.
It is time for us to move to our food segment. Esteemed restaurateur Josh Walrath will
If I
explain.
was an esteemed restaurateur, you'd think that I would go to more restaurants than just one. But, sometimes you gotta go where the iron's hot. In this case, they actually had something kind of interesting. They were pork hocks, right? But they call them hog wild pork wings. So yes, there's a bone wrapped around with a good chunk of meat, perfectly fried, and then rolled in a mango habanero buffalo sauce. It was pretty good spice to it. The fries were good, except, as soon as I got to work, someone grabbed me to help them out, and I had to do it for like 5-10 minutes, and by the time I got back and I opened the lid, the fries had gotten soggy from just, steaming in there. That made me unhappy. And so I yelled at all the people that I work with that they shouldn't interrupt me when, unloading fries because I need to open them up so they remain crispy. But still, the flavor was good. And oddly enough, those pork hocks were fantastic. Mango habanero sauce, a very nice amount of spice, made me happy. Got the endorphins going. Slightly sweet with the mango, but a superb. There were about 6 of them in there, and they filled me up pretty good. And they were only $10 with the fries. And considering where chicken wings are right now, 10 of them would be like $17, or 5 of them would be like $17. So, yeah, this was an outstanding special that they had. Hog wild pork wings. Doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't have to.
Moving to news, and of course, it's PC Perspective. It's the news section. We have to talk about NVIDIA and their trillions. They are now the world's first $5 trillion company. It seems like every week they're setting some kind of record. Either it's earnings or it's their ridiculous market capitalization. Jensen looks very happy. And look at all the spatulas. I mean,
Oh, I really think he's up to his spatula game here.
that's
Oh,
like
yeah.
half a
Is that
trillion
like
in
the
spatulas.
crazy clown face spatula at the
It
front?
certainly looks like it.
It does have sort of
Is
a
that Mr.
visage.
Is that Mr. Bill the spatula?
Oh,
Or it's fork. It could be Forky. It looks like Forky as well.
Is this AI generated? I mean, that cabinet looks a little odd right here.
It
Yeah,
kinda
probably.
does.
He paid extra to make it look that way. In
He
his
looks
real
AI
picture.
generated.
It does.
Actually, go back to the spatulas. Notice that the
The one on the far end there is a little.
the bottom parts don't match up with the
Yes.
top.
Oh, but it's the glass.
That's
though, Josh.
thick glass. It's diffraction.
It
just-
is the
it's
thick
just
glass,
an
but still,
optical
it just
illusion.
looks bad.
Anyway, back to the story. Going back to July, they were simply a $4 trillion company. They were the first to do it. But $5 trillion between July and October? I mean, people seem to be jumping on this bandwagon. Obviously not a bubble, Jeremy. Don't even insinuate it.
Oh, I've
dare
given that
I.
a hot take. I've hot taked it is a bubble as well.
So
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at the largest companies in tech, I mean, I could just say the largest companies because they're all tech. NVIDIA, number one, $5 trillion. Microsoft, $4 trillion. Apple,
Yeah, but they're losing
just
money. So
under $4 trillion. Apple, what is happening with them? Alphabet, we used to call them Google, $3.2 trillion. And there's little Amazon at like 2.45.
2.5 trillion. They had kind of a bad week last week though. So.
yeah,
Believe it or not, the stock went up with Amazon last week. And the funny thing is I heard the reason it went up is because people suddenly realized, oh my gosh, Amazon's got their fingers in a lot of the internet. Wow. Because it all went
and
down.
maybe we should give them some money so they don't break themselves again.
It's like that. They're really consequential.
Microsoft. 'Cause it was
Yeah, I
Microsoft's
think
turn this week.
that in the past week, NVIDIA announced that they've got a $500 billion kind of order that they're fulfilling with Google for the next 2 years. And if you start breaking that down, that's a lot of money per quarter. And some of that has already been, delivered and put into their quarterly earnings, but that still is $500 billion. That's not even talking about the stuff that they've got with OpenAI and providing them with so many gigawatts worth of compute. So yeah, it's no wonder that they're 5 trillion. We can expect what was their last quarter? Something like 38 billion, and you're looking at an easy 60 billion per quarter if these numbers come out. So kind of crazy where they're sitting. And yeah, $5 trillion.
By the way, that report from Video Cards cited this Fortune article in which CEO Jensen Huang says it's on track for $500 billion in revenue. That might just be this quarter, honestly. So, they're literally printing money faster than the U.S. Mint ever thought
I think he
possible.
actually meant during the length of that interview.
Yeah. He
He was making $500 billion in revenue. Yeah.
It's interesting that they have a 90% market share in AI compute and are also the most valuable company in the world by market capitalization. It's fun.
In the world.
Yes. It's almost like you just traced a bubble there.
It's what
Almost like
this
you
thing
just
is.
made a round.
It's going to continue up forever, right? Right.
Well, eventually,
forever.
the people.
No, it is not.
Okay, there are two things going on. One, the companies who are buying this stuff will eventually not have the money to expense in capital. In actual materials, namely GPUs. Two, data centers require many, many megawatts / gigawatts. Transformers, we talked about a couple of weeks ago, it's not a 6-month backlog. It's a 3-year backlog.
Yep.
When you're dealing with that kind of power going into a data center, you have to have specialty transformers taken from the grid, and you're waiting a while. So if you have not ordered them, do not expect to have any in 3 years. And finally, Most places in the U.S. do not have excess power generation capabilities. We've shut down a bunch of coal. We've shut down some natural gas. We have, tried to do a lot of green energy, wind turbine, solar. That is, of course, there are issues with that. Batteries, we can't make big enough batteries to really offset a lot of stuff that coal and natural gas and nuclear do. And so they're building things in Asheville, North Carolina, and they are maybe 10% reserve power generation in that area. Wyoming's a little bit better. We still have some, running, higher end natural gas, coal, and especially wind stuff. And so they're building,
which is why
they're
things over in your neighborhood now. Wyoming's apparently getting a huge. They're building in your neighborhood. Wyoming's apparently getting a huge influx of these data centers trying to be built out.
Yeah, they're all in Cheyenne. They're just building them out and getting big. And the really good thing about cooling is we're high altitude and extremely dry, so evaporative cooling works apparently really well up here. And again, it never gets above 90 degrees in the summer. I mean, very rarely does it go above that in Cheyenne. And for most, if your average temperature is something like 35.3 degrees the entire year. So yeah, it's a good place to build this stuff at, and there's a lot of land and there's a lot of excess power, but still, we're only one state of 550,000 people, and I mean, how much excess power can we truly generate? It's just a lot, and it has to physically slow down one way or the other because NVIDIA is making a lot of cards, but not that many. And nobody's got the power to be able to, power these data centers. It's a little crazy. Maybe the old Fed with his irrational exuberance was, could be applied to this, and NVIDIA's $5 trillion.
Josh, as you can imagine, here in Northern Virginia, we have a few data centers in the area. 100, 200, I don't know, a lot. And they're continuing to try and build them out. And power concerns get discussed quite a bit. And NIMBYism is a really, really big deal with the don't build this in my backyard kind of thing going on. Not in my backyard, in case somebody doesn't know what that means. And it will continue to build out with power concern, cooling concern, the amount of people who are actually employed after it gets built and all that. And not a popular thing, these data centers. Of course, very popular with the populace is the ability to shop instantaneously and social the hell out of their phone. So kind of at a...
What does that have to do with either of the two things? They're totally unrelated. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I want instantaneous
when I talk into my phone
dog food,
and it creates it creates a picture of me riding a unicorn. I mean, that's free, awesome. Right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and something Josh said earlier, he mentioned, a lot of these companies that are buying all these chips are going to run out of money to buy them. But that's already happening. OpenAI is entering deals where they're paying, they're writing contracts to pay companies billions and billions of dollars for product that OpenAI doesn't actually currently have. The entire deal is based upon speculation, which that's just a terrible economic thought process. It's not a plan. It's we hope so.
Wishful thinking.
Well, exactly. We have to.
I'll tell you what, the guys
much money, and they're looking for their money back. So the only way we can maybe make more money for them, or at least some money for them, is if they give us more money to try this project, which is totally going to pay off. And if it doesn't, we can then leverage it to make this project, which if you give us another couple of billion would totally pay off, which will end at some point. Either you win and you come up with something brilliant, which really hasn't happened yet, or they finally just string you out to dry and say, no, the well is now dry. You've bankrupted us, and we haven't seen a cent back for every $100 we spent. And it's just a matter of which is going to happen first.
Yeah, but the executive group who's pushing all this, they're making some good money. And you know that they are squirreling what they can away as long as, they don't get the SEC after them. But yeah, it's not good. I'm not bullish.
That's what the Cayman Islands are for, Josh.
Yeah.
One way to avoid this power conundrum is to simply use less of it. And as John Carmack discovered, the NVIDIA DGX Spark, which was already a low power device of some 240 watts, actually only consumes about 100 watts under load in his testing, because it's also half as performant as he was expecting based on NVIDIA's performance claims. Which it gets a little complicated. Now, John knows a little bit about, computers and programming. Apparently, the issue here is the result of NVIDIA's claimed 1 petaflop performance being based on structured sparsity. They expected those workloads to have a certain amount of zero value operations. So if you're not running that type of workload, then you don't get that doubled theoretical performance. So he was only seeing 60 teraflops.
Wait, 60 teraflops from 100 watts?
I mean, that's not bad, right?
It's not bad.
Now that's BF16. What is BF16?
Bumf.
Some sort of float operation.
I saw one reply to John Carmack on Twitter was, it has half the performance, just buy 2 of them. It's only $3,000. It's like, hey, it's not wrong.
Yeah.
bfloat 16 floating point format.
Okay.
16-bit.
With a fancy name.
There's many formats out there.
Yeah.
And we get more of them every year because math is interesting and compute is even more interesting. And you can apply interesting math to all that compute and get interesting results. Gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I should patent that or something.
Yep. Up there with tighten up your graphics.
Tighten up the graphics.
Hurry before the bubble bursts. I just wanted to bring that up one more time because Jeremy posted an article about that after I started.
It's a great photo, by the way.
Yeah.
The show notes. Yes, exactly.
I stole it from the internet.
Oh, you didn't generate it with AI?
No, it was a guide on how to take pictures of bubbles popping.
You can tell it's not AI because the hand.
The hand has 5 fingers, yeah.
The hand has the correct number of fingers, yeah.
AI's gotten better at that, actually.
Actually, strangely enough, the person had only 3 fingers. He'd lost one in a bubble popping accident, and so the AI filled it in again.
Next, Jeremy, you'll have to explain this to me. Bring the noise, turning your Wi-Fi signals into dial-up audio. Does this mean what I think it does?
Do you not miss the scream of your 56K modem connecting?
Well, see, the problem is that could feel that joy.
Now he can. What they've done is, I think they used, it wasn't a Pi, it was the other one, the other board.
Arduino?
Nah. Anyway, so like a small little, a native fruit, QT Pi, that's what it was. And a Raspberry 3 equipped with a Wi-Fi adapter to sniff it, which he then feeds into this. And see, the problem is that with Wi-Fi, it's so fast. Like if you tried to create the tones like you did with the old dial-ups, you wouldn't hear anything. It's so high frequency that, not even your dog is going to be annoyed by it. So you can't really just do it purely and give an actual sound of your Wi-Fi signal. But with a digital to analog converter and a little bit of software, you can make something that's sort of similar to it. So it's not actually, you're not listening to necessarily your traffic, which from a security standpoint might actually be a good thing, but something, converted to a point where you can actually hear what it is. And if you click on the little video, if you've got your sound, it will play what it sounds like.
I don't.
Yeah, I didn't think you did. So, it's just a silly little thing, but it is kind of amusing. And then the graphics, actually hilarious. I've put a link to where it came from because it's an example. It spells out exactly what those noises were. What part of communication, where in the handshakes, these specific noises were being made. So, if you're ever kind of curious about that, you can take a look at it.
Oh, so here are the bits being exchanged as part of the ba-da, 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 ba-da.
The Fisk data go back and forth. And then
That was
finally,
those were technical noises I was making, by the way. I wasn't having a seizure.
and then at the very end, the static, where it's been scrambled.
A lot of compression to make.
They had to. It was over phone lines.
Yeah.
Old phone lines. Wait, isn't that when internet is over now? Weird, huh?
Well, it can be, unless you have fiber.
Do you remember like getting the faster and faster modems? There was always like extra noises in there as you were listening to it as they got faster.
Speaking of the past, the glory days of PC computing and gaming,
Glory
creative
days.
technology. You may remember the Sound Blaster. Some will swear by the PASS 16 and say that the Pro Audio Spectrum was better in every way. But the Sound Blaster, it had the compatibility, it had mixed quality. Forget all that. Fast forward to the present day, where Josh, do you have a Sound Blaster in your system right now?
I do.
Yes, see? It's probably dead quiet and reliable, right?
It's the 85 Plus. It's the nicest sound card I've ever had.
So creative technology, they have a Kickstarter campaign because, of course, companies, they need your money to develop new products that you might actually want to buy. So let's reimagine what a Sound Blaster can do. And what it can apparently do is look like something from Teenage Engineering.
I feel like this is AI generated, by the way. I just want to go out on a limb.
I don't know. Is it? Or is this just a render? Is it a good old-fashioned human render? It's certainly not a real product yet.
No. This just feels AI generated to me.
It looks modular. It looks like a whole bunch of things you can plug into a base.
Oh, yeah.
And have different experiences.
These specs are somewhat imaginary because this product doesn't yet actually exist. But it's lofty.
Oh, good. It's got neural processing in it.
I was going to say, of course, it has an NPU. Of course it does. Why wouldn't you need an NPU in your sound card? Maybe that's for like intelligent noise cancellation or something.
Yeah, or, transform or, actual 3D sound.
Auto-tune built in to your sound card.
Oh, yeah.
Auto-tune. Oh, my goodness. Yes. Who doesn't want to sound better?
Yeah, Jacob Burns in the chat. Yes, it does look Teenage Engineering, doesn't it? But how much will it cost? Where is the link to the Kickstarter? How much are they asking for?
If you've got to ask.
Oh, they're up to 75,000
for. Wow, they've already made it and then some.
Surprising no one.
Yeah. Wow, it's a modular audio hub with AI.
Yeah, of course it is.
Customize your setup with swappable hardware, retro gaming, and AI-powered apps. And look, retro gaming, look, it's got a pixelated-looking display here on the side.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, they actually found one on eBay. We're watching a video of some kid in the late 80s or
early 90s. Yeah.
It's back.
It's back.
Now that Sound Blaster box, I think, was a late 80s box. Look at this thing. This just plays so well with the audio version of the podcast.
What does he do under the table?
I don't know. Which one of these? Desperately trying to plug in the creative speaker.
I'm so frustrated because I can't see anything.
Into the trash. Wow. Replace everything with this audio hub.
What a scathing indictment of those Pebble speakers from Creative. Wow.
Yeah.
Too hard to plug in.
Everything's up front now. All your ports, all the controls. So convenient.
He's like, yeah.
See,
now I can
how
hear
happy
it.
he is.
Finally.
So happy.
If only wireless gaming headsets existed. Good thing I've got this device.
What's this? What do we have over here?
Oh, look, I can make it into a little...
Oh, it's the extended version.
Console.
That's a different base, yeah.
Reconfigure it. Different base. Zap, zap, zap.
Guys, I fear that we are once again sounding a little cynical about an exciting new product in the tech industry that could revolutionize everything.
Let's see where this goes. Let's see
how much did they want for it.
$15K. They're up to $75K.
No, for
because-
throwing your
oh,
money
look.
at them.
I didn't actually see what you were getting for your Kickstarter. Sebastian, was
Nothing.
there a... Look
Oh.
at that. That was the box. That's
Apparently, this
exactly
is what
the
you're
box.
getting. It's give generously to Sound Blaster, and you could reveal a new product. Get it? Because reveal was the
Yeah.
I don't get it.
They distributed Sound Blaster cards at one point. This video just keeps on going on and on. It's just think of all the
Well, scroll
possibilities.
down.
Look, I
How
could
much do
turn
they
my
want?
volume up. It's I don't know. I guess I should have looked.
It's
Okay,
fully
let's see.
funded.
$329.
Oh,
$29.
$329, and that's the early backer 34%
Yeah.
off deal.
Otherwise, it's going to be more.
$500.
yeah, no.
Seems pricey.
Well, I guess that they're gauging interest by doing a Kickstarter.
Well, apparently some people got more money than sense.
It's too bad the company kind of destroyed its own market by being as uncompetitive as possible, and Microsoft punished them by doing a total software audio stack in Windows. Wouldn't allow them to do hardware acceleration, all this other stuff. It's just, too much litigation killed it off. Which, I feel bad. I've got a creative sound card in my machine because I listen to a lot of speakers and it sounds better in motherboard audio. But I still do not approve of what they did with Ariel and the industry in general.
And now look what they're doing with their industrial design. They went to the teenage engineering page.
Oh,
They looked at the buttons. They looked at the colorway. They looked at the little screen and they said, hey, we can do that too. For 1/4 the price. That stuff is expensive. But yeah, it looks like teenage engineering stuff. If you were watching the video version of the podcast, let us move on to an
Moving.
exciting article about
Exciting.
shunting. Shunt
Shunting?
modding.
Ooh,
do you
shunting.
remember this? This hasn't been a thing for a while.
So if you have an RTX 4090 laptop GPU and you don't care if you destroy it beyond repair, you can attempt to shunt mod it yourself for 19% more performance, which in other words gives you RTX 5090 laptop performance for half the cost, or in fact, none of the cost if you already own the 4090 laptop.
Now, I don't think the 4090 laptop is the only one that's shuntable based upon some of the information in the article here. But yeah, seems like the real deal if you can cool it.
Yeah,
You can
that's
keep it
always
cold,
that's the real trick, isn't it?
especially on a laptop.
But to me, this just says more about how underwhelming the 5090 laptop GPU was. If the only difference between the two is about 19%.
Yeah,
That's not
it does
exactly
seem
it.
like that.
A transformative generational change.
It does kind of seem like that. Yeah, they're talking about finding those solder pads, putting in a 5 ohm resistor, I believe, and avast ye scurvies, matey. Have at it.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, just right in this area.
I think that's it right there.
Shunt it real good.
How hard can that be? That looks pretty simple, actually.
Yeah, it does.
Watch a couple YouTube tutorials on how to
yeah.
solder and make this your first project. It's a great beginner project.
Yep, tear down that laptop. Shunt your GPU.
And don't worry
Reassemble.
about those 3 extra screws when you get done putting it back together. You didn't need them anyway.
You probably dropped them on the inside. Don't worry, they won't bridge
No, I mean,
any.
you'll have extra screws and you don't know where they were
there's that.
supposed to go.
There's that
And
too.
it happens to everyone. So don't feel bad.
Plus
or
the ones
two.
you dropped in the case. That are
Right.
rolling
And when
around
it
inside.
shorts out when you first power it on.
I mean, it happens.
And minorly sort of welds itself there and never breaks free.
Then you have a
again.
permanent shunt.
Yeah.
0 ohms. 0 ohms of resistance.
Okay, so next, Microsoft. They know how to take a joke. They're clearly paying attention. They want to give people what they want. They're not evil. And there's been comparisons. The new Copilot digital assistant, this is Clippy all over again. Well, Clippy makes a comeback now as an AI assistant. Look at that.
Yes.
Is this pronounced Miko?
I think it's Miko.
Go
Okay.
to hell.
It's less intrusive and more responsive. It reacts to your conversations instead of interrupting them. It listens to you all the time. It records everything you... Oh, wait, no, sorry. Forget all that.
But it's not intrusive.
No, it's not, because look, it's friendly.
It's
Look at
going to
that.
remember.
It's a smiling little blob.
Yes, it remembers your preferences.
Miko.
Smells a bit like for some reason.
It's your AI companion.
A fall 2025 release. Look at these rounded corners here and this pastel color scheme. It's so friendly. It's
a lot of
almost-
taupe.
it's
I'm sorry,
almost
a lot of
Apple-like.
taupe. Are these rounded Rex? They'll be hearing from Apple's lawyers soon.
They're not just rounded though; they have a sort of CRT quality to them.
I do.
Because
I
look,
see
there's
that.
a radius to this line here.
It's breaking the paradigm. I see it.
It's unbelievable, is what it is. This
It's
is
transformative.
it's Copilot on Windows like I never thought I'd see before.
So there is actually a backdoor to Miko, which really, really brings out ye old Clippy. Yeah. Sorry to say.
Just
I'm Baji.
then there was also the puppy assistant guy in Windows XP. I don't know the name of that one.
It's sad, but true.
We all just need Bonsai Buddy back. Just we knew who he was. He knew who he was. He was a little sleazy, but that was fine. Microsoft should have bought that IP. So from PC Gamer, Samsung and SK hynix are apparently raising memory prices by up to 30%. We've noticed the trend. Prices are starting to creep up. This is not a drill. This is real. What could possibly be driving these prices up, Josh?
Al is driving the prices up. You ought to see his basement.
Yeah.
Al.
Single-handedly
He is buying
raising the
up
price of Flash.
All of the NAND. Yeah, no, it's AI. And it sucks. Consumers, it's really interesting. The PC market thought, we're going to sell a bunch more PCs with Windows 11, which is true. They're expecting a lot. They're starting to go out. But in conjunction with that, as well as the memory and NAND needs of these AI data centers, we're all getting squeezed. And so prices have, since August, been going up about 20% for all of these products. And it stinks, and it makes our builds more expensive. So it's like a perfect storm of Windows 11 refresh for a lot of companies and individuals, and then AI eating everything silicon.
Now, the latest on this, as of today at 2 p.m., is that SK hynix has sold out of their DRAM, NAND, and HBM capacity into 2026 due to AI insanity.
So all they could make already sold.
Yeah. They looked at their capacity and said, okay, we can make this much. And they sold it all. And they can charge more for it, and they can still sell it all. Because
You
they have
can
to
still
build out
get their...
those.
Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
You can still get their P41, which is an excellent PCIe 4.0 drive, 2 terabytes for $119. So think about it. Think about the future,
The future is now.
because they're going to be gone.
The future is go to Amazon and Newegg and whoever else, Micro Center, if you have one near you, right now. And if you were thinking about that RAM upgrade, if you're thinking about switching to AM5 and need DDR5, do it soon. Oh, what's this? Something about a smart fridge, Brett?
Oh, what's this? I preface this with, perhaps this is why you do not upgrade your appliances, and especially why Sebastian does not upgrade his TV.
No, I never update my TV, which I mentioned this in the podcast before. It's a controversial topic, but my TV's offline, and it will always be offline unless it just stops working and requires a firmware update to power back on, I guess. Mm-hmm. But the
it's
Samsung...
like a timing issue or something.
Mm-hmm. Samsung is putting ads on their $3,500 smart fridges with the big screen on the door.
Yeah.
So, hey, if you have your refrigerator connected so you can get the latest weather and news and fashion advice and horoscope, shopping, you can probably shop on your fridge. I don't really know.
It shows the inside of the refrigerator. It shows they're actually doing a tiled interface now. But anyway, these screens.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I have my interest now.
Yeah. These screens range from about 20 inches to 32 inches on the high end. So the refrigerators range from about $2,000 to about $3,500. Look at the size of this fridge. It is fully 80%, 75% of the size of that upper door there in this high end refrigerator. And Samsung,
you're impressed by that? You should see the one in the living room.
Exactly. So if you're impressed by the size of the screen on my refrigerator, I've got something in the living room. Anyway, the point here is that Samsung sold these devices to people without this attached to them. They had no idea. So the devices are being upgraded because who doesn't want their refrigerator on the internet? Because that's part of the point of buying the smart device, right? Smart appliance. Put it on the internet, for goodness sakes. So Samsung is going to force an upgrade, which is going to be showing ads on the bottom and stuck in some of the tiles. And you can refuse, as Sebastian does, but you'll be blocked out of that super smooth new interface. Oh no! And new features. You don't have them.
What is it?
Anyway.
Tizen or something running these
the OS
refrigerators?
Could be.
But hey, look, if you let it happen, if you just take it, you will get a box. It's a widget. It's a box on the bottom of the screen that changes every 10 seconds.
Yes.
Because if you're staring at the fridge, you don't want to look at some stale ad from like 12 or 13 seconds ago. You need something new.
Yeah.
Catch
Now,
up.
You need
No
to feel
Beer.
not so alone in the world. So you're going to watch some ads because you know that Samsung cares about you.
They're cutting a fine line.
It'll save energy too. Instead of standing there staring in the door open into the empty recesses of your fridge, the door will be closed and you'll just be staring at the advertisements.
Yes.
So you're saving energy.
You're missing one important thing, though. They're cutting a fine line between how much personalization they're going to be putting into this. Like they're spying on the things that you put into the refrigerator and say, we noticed you're low on butter. Or maybe you need some more orange juice. Hey, Johnny's been drinking a lot of milk lately. Maybe you ought to check in on him.
Have you checked that expiration date?
It's like, Safeway has a deal on Tropicana orange juice right now.
Yes, which like a store or
to
something.
clip a coupon and save now.
All of that and more. So much more.
Hey, every store around me has digital coupons now. It just makes sense to incorporate it into the refrigerator. Just saying.
And then we'll bring back the Amazon buttons where you can just push the thing on the fridge to order it. And
Yes.
suddenly your kid orders 10,000 gallons of ice cream and you're on the hook for it.
It happens.
Cost of
Save
doing
a credit
business.
card. Save a credit card to your fridge and just see what happens.
Of course.
And then you find these special glasses in a box in an alley, and you put them on and look at your fridge, and you just see images that black and white, and it says, sleep, consume, obey.
This is your God.
This is your God.
Let's pause here for a word from this week's podcast sponsor.
Running a one-man studio means I'm the PM, the designer, the QA team, and the guy who forgot to invoice himself. My new fix is giving myself a digital co-founder Notion Agent. I can start the day with one prompt, gather the client feedback, turn it into a build checklist, and drop it into my release notes so I can live in my editor instead of a tab maze. The same Notion platform used by over half of the Fortune 500 runs my boutique projects as well, so clients get enterprise polish even when I'm the entire enterprise. Notion brings all your notes, docs, and projects into one connected space that just works. It's seamless, flexible, powerful, and actually fun to use. With AI built right in, you spend less time switching between tools and more time creating great work. Mid-project, when one small change mutates into 3, I can recompose it. Agent updates the spec sheet, reshuffles my timeline, and rolls my scribbles into a clean summary I can now ship against with client sign-off. Need a status update? Notion generates a tidy page from my messy notes, links tasks, and gets decisions tracked. So review meetings become approve and move forward. I get the momentum, and my client can get the receipts. And now with Notion Agent, your AI doesn't just help with work, it finishes it. Try Notion, now with Notion Agent at notion.com/PCPer. That's all lowercase letters, notion.com/PCPer to try your new AI teammate, Notion Agent, today. And when you use our link, you're supporting our show. That's notion.com/PCPer.
Welcome to Insecurity Corner, your weekly reason to drink.
And our first story comes via Bleeping Computer, as is customary. A critical WSUS flaw in Windows Server now exploited in attacks.
Not according to Microsoft. They still claim that it's just theoretical and has never been exploited, which is
What's the severity
incorrect
of this?
It is originally like an 8.8, but then they sort of admitted it's like, no, a 9.8 is kind of more appropriate for this.
That's very high.
Oh, it's in the wild.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, but Microsoft CV still claims that it's not because, I mean, denial definitely works.
Yeah, but it's actively being exploited right now.
Yes. It is, because some idiots expose their WSUS servers to the internet. Now, this is an internal server which you use to stand in between you and Microsoft to provide Windows updates. And it should only have a very protected connection directly to Microsoft's update servers, which then feed it the updates, which then you can feed out to the rest of your organization when you decide to do it. So, might be a month, might be 6 months, depending on how badly they screwed up that particular update. This one is an RCE flaw, which works if you've done 2 stupid things. One is expose your WSUS server to the general internet, and 2 is to set it up to automatically update other WSUS servers within your organization. So you've got one, and then you have others off of it, which is good. I mean, it's better to have more than one single point of failure. This is a very bad thing, as Amazon figured out, and Microsoft sort of figured out earlier today. But you shouldn't be automatically pushing it. You should be doing it on either a schedule or having each one pull themselves and then be the failovers when one of the other ones go down. So this is really low complexity. It's just feeding it a packet that creates a weird event, which then immediately runs remote code onto that WSUS server, which does talk to every other machine in your organization and is, going to happily start spreading all sorts of horrific stuff. So, yeah. I mean, don't expose your WSUS server to the internet. Don't expose 8530 and 8531 especially, because there's no reason to for any bloody reason, let alone 80 or 8080. And there is a patch out, so you can immediately do that or just, turn off WSUS until there is an in-band patch. Either way, it's not a good one, and regardless what Microsoft is claiming, it has been seen being exploited in the Netherlands and a couple of other places. Yay.
I was waiting for Brett to chime in. I couldn't believe it. I had the 2-camera ready. Just nothing.
Jeremy was really owning that one. So,
he was on fire.
He said that everything. Yeah, he's really energized on that.
I'm feeling smug because we don't use WSUS anymore. We only have vulnerabilities.
He was we were thinking about doing it, but we haven't gotten to that project yet. So,
well, let me tell you, you would have had a miserable morning because Entra went down pretty hard.
Yeah, the whole Microsoft thing was bad today.
Oh, yeah.
You mean in general or just this specific one?
No,
Specifically-
Azure had massive issues today,
Was it-
which
Mhm.
affected Microsoft 365 project,
Was it DNS?
all of the OneDrive,
No,
all those things.
It was DNS,
Sure.
wasn't it? It was DNS.
Sure.
no, they were doing an upgrade to the configuration, try and make it more efficient by reducing load. If
Spreading
you
out
can't
the
get
DNS.
onto it,
Spreading out the DNS calls, probably.
if you can't get onto it, the load definitely drops.
All right, let's move on from Microsoft. Next story. Microsoft disables
yeah.
File Explorer preview for downloads to block attacks.
You know, in retrospect, you kind of seen this one coming because it's just a variant of any half a dozen ones that have occurred before. It's like, oh, I've downloaded a file from the internet. I don't know if I trust this file. Let me preview it in my Explorer. Oh, the Explorer helpfully parses that document, and especially if it includes like link tags or various other HTML source tags or what have you. Well, let's just automatically fetch those things for you from badactors.com. Oh, and we're going to send along your NTLM credentials just to make sure that we can access that. You've just given those away, you fool.
Well, because
who could have
single
imagined
sign-in.
this?
So.
Who could have imagined that this could possibly be taken advantage of? Certainly not Microsoft, because it's only happened like 9 times previous to this in various other ways. So blame their lack of imagination on figuring this one out. So instead of fixing the problem, like not providing your NTLM credentials, they're looking for files that have MOTW, mark of the web, on them, and just not doing previews. That's the latest Windows 11 patch. If you're wondering why your Explorer isn't previewing certain files, this is the reason.
You do not want to know how many people called Service Desk because they couldn't do this anymore. And you definitely don't want to know what areas of the business they worked in.
IT?
No. I won't say, but worse than
The
that.
executive branch.
So
company?
yeah, there's apparently a huge amount of people have depended on this to be able to download a file from the web. Well, I don't want to have to take the time to open it. I just want to look at it in Explorer. I'm like,
Yeah,
But-
super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
and so hey, this is now even the creators of the operating system you're using say you can't do that. So no, we
Yeah,
can't enable
they've blocked
that
it off.
special for you.
There is supposed to be a way that you can sort of say, if you
don't
trust
tell
this-
anyone you can add it to trusted internet sites
Never mind.
because for
It
some
can't be done.
reason you can
Can't
add
be done.
a server to it. You can't add. So if the person is doing it locally, you cannot
Mm-hmm.
do that. But the old internet options that we totally got rid of with Edge and
except those still work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if
that,
they
if you
turn
make
their
a trusted
computer
site-
off and on again, maybe they could do that. Maybe that would work.
Yeah.
Have they tried that?
Yeah, so you can add it to your trusted internet sites or your intranet as a file or a server / but don't. Just don't.
don't.
There's
But
no
don't do that.
reason.
Don't do that. Anyway, yeah, who could have seen this coming?
Everyone who got infected by it before.
Yeah, it's happened before.
That last time and the time before that.
Yes.
Well, I didn't
Exactly.
even open anything. No, you didn't. You previewed it.
You're acting like some of these security issues are obvious, that we should have foreseen this. Like AI browsers facing security flaws. Who would have ever imagined AI browsers?
Once you begin to put AI bots and agentic services inside a browser that you can prompt to do things on your behalf, and that's kind of the trick here, doing things on your behalf. Once you put that inside of a browser, it is ripe for a security situation. And that's why the title of this, an AI browser to face a security flaw as inevitable as death and taxes. This will be taken advantage of. And there will be bad actors that somehow take advantage of the fact that you've got an agentic AI built into the browser. There will be hooks to talk to it, and then it will be wedged, and you will be giving away your information very quickly.
They will
Doing
fake your
things.
death and steal the tax return.
They will, and they'll probably own your home by the time you've finished browsing their site. Yes, because
And my
they've
God,
looked
that
you up.
Amazon bill.
They're running servers now in your name. You're paying for it, and you're hacking other people. So when the police come knocking, looking for who's responsible, it's you. Surprise! You've been taken advantage
It
of.
wasn't me. The AI browser did it.
Thanks, agentic AI in my browser. Bad idea. Yes, please don't. But like I was saying earlier about like let's AI all the things, from Microsoft, they're looking for the home run. They're looking for the payback.
Yep.
They're looking for what's going to stick and be a huge hit with people. Still trying to figure that out. Bubble. Oh, I said it. I'll be quiet now.
And that's it. That's Insecurity Corner for this week.
That's it.
It was short and bitter, but
That's it. That's my book.
let's move on to gaming quick hits. And first, we're going to dive into the Outer Worlds 2 early release.
Yeah, I guess it was worth mentioning because, I mean, a lot of people seem to be talking about this Outer Worlds sequel. And I decided I'd definitely post it because they decided to take a poke at the people that pre-ordered it. Because there will be flaws in the game, which you can pick to make gameplay a little more interesting. And one of them is the consumerism flaw, which one of the reviewers was a little annoyed because they couldn't figure out what effect it had on the game until they finally realized that, no, the flaw is that you are a ridiculous consumer who paid money for a game which isn't even released yet just to get early access to it. Or in this case, a review code. So there is a bit of tongue-in-cheek, but over and all, they sort of said it's similar to the first one, but not as much fun. Partly because we've been there, done that, and partly because, I mean, it's just a little bit missing in things. So, hey, if you do want to try it, it's not horrible. Their experience may vary from yours. They've already dropped a huge patch. So one benefit to people buying and playing it beforehand is that, about a third of the game-breaking flaws may have been discovered and might even be patched by the time you actually get it. So, we shall see. Yeah, there were some like that just suddenly faded to black and said the game is over, just randomly because you landed at a certain spot. That's not disappointing at all, right?
I think the
congratulations,
you're outer.
Oh, Josh,
This is my sad face. All I ever wanted to do was say things, and Jeremy just talks over me. Exactly. Anyway, best part of Outer Worlds was kind of that Amazon Prime thing of video game shorts. I thought that was pretty clever stuff. I tried playing the first, and it was, I don't know, maybe just as I've gotten older, my attention span has gotten less and less when it comes to video games. Have you found that for yourself, or do you still play a lot of them?
I think it's more that your attention span has gotten longer, and so that short attention span games don't work. Because
it's not a short game.
No, but it didn't want you to pay attention to any of it for more than a half a second before you went, okay. Oh, look, this is shiny too. Oh, look, that's shiny. Oh, it's a bit of a looter shooter. Not quite Borderlands, but, in the neighborhood. On the other side of the track from the Borderlands.
All right, moving on. Now, gaming on Windows. Passe. It's been done. It's too easy. It's low-hanging fruit. Gaming on Linux used to be something of an adventure, but now, I think mostly because of the Steam Deck and others, almost 90% of Windows games run on Linux now, according to a report. That's 89.7%. They at least launch. Now, this goes down if you're talking about 100%, like install, run, saves work, with no user intervention. That's about 42% of new releases, but still, that's up from 29% last year. So this is a pretty significant trend here.
Yeah, and the games that supposedly refuse to launch is down below 4% at this point. So you got a pretty good chance that your up-to-date Linux-based handheld, like the Asus or Steam Deck or something like that, is probably going to run. Probably going to run the game.
And I mean, how often do you really want a Windows game to run perfectly anyways? It's not going to.
That's
Even
part of the
natively.
design. The design process is it's probably
It's
not
all
going to
part of
run
the fun.
Wait, are we talking about Goat Simulator?
Hey, now that runs perfectly on everything.
What did we talk about
Yes.
last week? We had a pretty cool game we were talking about. What was it? I can't remember what it was. I don't remember. It was fun. It was a fun game.
I will point out that there's roughly 90,000 games available on Steam, of which 90% are probably utter and complete crap.
Mm-hmm.
So 90% of games technically would launch on them, but on Linux. But how many of them do you actually want to play?
Some.
Some, absolutely some. But we shall see. We'll have to build a box and start testing.
Goodness knows we don't have any hardware to do that with.
Yeah.
The Asus I was referring to is the ROG Xbox LAX.
Oh, the cheap one. That totally
apparently
doesn't
got a-
cost like twice as
it's a
much as
Linux-
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's the cheap one. It's like $1,000.
Yeah.
That's with a Linux distro called I think it's called Bazite. Bezit? I don't know.
Bazite.
Bazite.
Bezite
Thank you.
or something.
It's on par with, in general, with a lot of Windows games at certain FPS levels for certain games. Interesting.
But I could buy a PC for that.
I
almost.
can't wait for SteamOS to come in a better installable package so I can put it on my desktops for gameplay. It's going to happen. It's already happening to some extent.
It will,
Or your
but will it
Nook.
be a proprietary? Yeah, or your Nook.
I mean, the hardware is going to be, not the greatest support out of the gate, of course, but it'll be popular enough.
Next, from IGN, it's funny that people think about the console PC as two different things. Microsoft CEO drops biggest hint yet. The new Xbox
What, the Xbox is going to be hyphenated?
will just be... I don't know. There's a lot of hyphens in this. And the next Xbox is just a PC. Well, the current Xbox is just a PC.
It's just a,
Yeah,
but they're
AMD
upfront with it now.
CPU,
They're upfront with it now.
AMD Radeon, and it runs a version of Windows with a game wrapper.
It's x86.
Yeah,
what's a computer?
Get out of here.
But people were buying a console. They were buying it instead of buying a computer. Joke's on you. You actually just bought
it's,
a
you know what? It's
PC
a
with
really
wrapper.
nicely subsidized gaming PC
Yeah.
for $500.
So you bought a gateway.
You bought a gateway.
Yeah. It's
come
white
on.
and black.
They've done some interesting work hardware wise in getting large GPUs with CPUs and be able to share large chunks of memory with a large bus and perform very, very well at 4K with modern games. And plus, they've done a lot of optimization with the drivers and low-level stuff. So, I mean, it's not quite a PC because you've got a common hardware platform that they could super optimize for.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, so it's an Apple.
Isn't that the ideal?
Except actually as games.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey,
right.
Apple, look at Apple reviews. They always have Shadow of the Tomb Raider,
That's right.
Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider,
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk
Cyberpunk.
again.
Shadow of the Cyber,
Mm-hmm.
Tomb Punk Raider.
Yeah,
They're-
it's
Probably
Probably
all
the
three
library.
Witcher games. And
Yep.
I don't think the old ones run.
The weird
Let me
thing
look
is
at
they're running
it.
at like pretty good FPS, but still all x86 code too. So that's kind of the funny thing.
Yeah, because it's running on the CPU.
Brett's
but that
starting to get
CPU
smug.
is
We need to move
something
to the
else.
next news
I
story
am-
immediately.
I am smugging a little.
By the way, this one is a hybrid news / gaming story simply because I forgot to link to it earlier. NVIDIA RTX 5060 Ti, the 8 gigabyte versions, that's kind of winding down. I think NVIDIA, I don't know if it's because they have trillions of dollars now or what, but they're starting to accept that 16 gigabytes is the true way. That the 16 gig model will just be the mainstream model.
A bunch of people are returning their 8 gig cards and getting really mad. So they're just prying that 8 gigs off of one card, sticking it on another, and reselling it as a 16.
Oh,
makes sense, right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Maybe.
So they're telling their board partners to stop making 8 gigabyte cards. Let's do the 16.
People will pay the difference. If you thought,
Yes.
Oh God, why not?
if you thought they would pay $500 for an 8 gig card, just believe they will pay $550 for a 16 gig card all day.
It's about $70 difference, actually.
Is
But
it?
yeah,
Okay, fine. They'll pay it. They'll pay $100.
10 to 12% difference.
For at least a few more months until no memory manufacturers have space to
that's another
actually
tiny problem.
build out.
Didn't the 50, 70, 12 gig go down to $499 recently?
It wouldn't
It's
surprise
only
me.
12 gigs though. Although,
didn't
hey, another
look.
12 gig card selling pretty well these days. The 3060 12 gig.
Hey,
It still sells because of the VRAM and for no
still
other
a
reason.
seller. Still a seller.
Have you seen the Intel B580? 12
Yeah.
gig, $249. That's a good deal. It actually runs
It is.
pretty nice.
I'm seeing
8 gig is dead. Long live 8 gig.
I'm not seeing the $500 deal. I found $575.
It looks like they've gone up because there was a point where they went down below MSRP in August, but apparently no longer.
That was just Amazon. Let's see here. Let's check the egg live. People love this. Checking newegg.com live. Oh, these are 16 gigs. I have to specify 12. That's right. 12.
Yeah. Because we're not paying 8 and change.
$549.
What was the top one? 4 something?
No, 549.
Oh, $549. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not terrible, but still only 12 gigs. I want that. The 16 just feels like the safe number. I mean, AMD offers 16 gigabytes
All day long.
It's what, 2 to the 4 power? So yeah, it feels good.
I mean, the thing that is odd about this in my mind is just people keep thinking I want a future proof, and there's no such thing, because I remember when the 1080 Ti came out with 11 gigs, and we're like, God, who needs 11 gigs of VRAM? That's crazy. But the performance on that card was ridiculous. But still, it's, you're never going to have a future-proof graphics card. You might have one that'll last you, 4 or 5 years if you're playing, AAA games when they come out. But yeah, it's just not going to happen. Future-proof doesn't exist in computers. You can stop showing me now.
But
Don't tell me what to do.
Stop it.
It's time for picks of the week. Josh, please get us
Me.
started.
okay. Memory and SSDs are going up in price, but AMD video cards still seem to be doing pretty good. So for what, $639, $649? How much? I didn't see.
669.
No, that's $669. How did that? I thought that went up. Anyway,
It went up.
huh? That was lawyer. Let me check something quick. Wow, it's on mine. It is 6. Okay, never mind. It's 669. So I'm getting dumb in my old age. But anyway, still 16 gig 9070 XT, which is a very, very fast card, well under $700. Everything else going up in price. Graphics cards keeps going down. If you want the ASRock Challenger, it is only $649.99. But I like Power Color. I've actually tested one of their Hellhound cards, and it was really fantastic. So I was quite happy with that. And I thought I would pass that on to you. And yes, it is better than the 4060 Ti. But maybe not as good as the $249 B580.
Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome.
Jeremy, any deals down in Kazakhstan this week?
Oh, this one's everywhere, as long as there's a star dock that you can dock to. Stardock, if you're not familiar, is done just about every single turn-based strategy game that you loved or absolutely hated. They've been around for forever. Like Gal Civ was the original, Sins of the Solar Empire a little more recent, but literally everything that they've pretty much done over the years is on one of the old-time Steam sales, where, you know, the worst deals you're seeing are about 35% off. A lot of them are like 90% off. And part of the reason that I ran into this was that I got a key for the early beta testing of the new one they're putting out, Elemental Reforged, which is not a new game. This is something that's been around for about 15 years. It's just that they wanted to make it so big it couldn't possibly ever run on the hardware of the time. This is something that happens quite a bit. So I'm kind of interested in looking into this, because you've got War of Magic was almost 15, 20 years ago at least. And then, 10, 15 years ago, they did Fallen Enchantress and Sorcerer King, which, might remind you a bit of Heroes of Might and Magic, but much more in-depth in creating the character, creating what you want the cities to do, and just sort of roaming around the map and bashing stuff. So I'm kind of interested to see how this is going to go out. And if you want to pick it up on early access, it's 25% off. It's kind of like pre-ordering, but this is more they're shopping to see, hey, are enough people going to throw money at us that it's worth continuing to develop, or is it going to die, but without the Kickstarter pain? So I'm going to try and take a look at it this week and post my impressions of just sort of what it looks like it's going to be. And it's super early access, so not what you're going to see in the final, if there is a final eventually. But considering the DNA and the team that designed this thing, they've built a lot of the games that I either loved or loved to bloody hate. Looking at you, fucking Galactic Empire. Never did figure that game out properly after the first one. So yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, check out the Startup sale on Steam, because it's, there's a lot of stuff that's just stupidly discounted. And, think about this one, or wait and see what I think of it.
Thank you, Jeremy. Brett, I think you have a pick that dozens of people are going to love.
Yeah, that's actually, I sort of post-fixed it with that exact sentiment. So, as Josh was saying, where are memory prices going? Nowhere but up. Strike now if you want to buy something. Here's, I would almost say, an unusual item that earlier today was only $119 for 2 terabytes of storage. It's an SSD SATA drive, 2 terabytes from Western Digital Blue. It's down to $111. So between the time that I took a look at this earlier in the evening and now, it's actually gone down $8. Why is that? I feel like the market for SATA storage of this nature is disappearing. It's almost drying up. But I was thinking about it even more. And we used to kind of recommend these for, hey, fix your aging PC, get them into the SSD space. Well, what's happened is a lot of those PCs. Oh, you're on the 4 terabyte one, Sebastian. Click the 2 terabyte. Oh, sorry.
Why stop at 2?
Oh, I hear you.
Have 4.
But my point here is that a lot of the time, these drives were being used to upgrade older PCs. Well, Windows 11 and the requirements of Windows 11 is pretty much forced those PCs that might have been the perfect hosts for these drives, forcing them out of the market into the e-waste category practically, with the death of Windows 10 or older Windows 11 machines practically. And I just wondering, who is this for now? Even though it's relatively inexpensive, where will they go? Who's this for? It's $120 for the same thing in an NVMe Gen 5 for the same amount of storage.
Brett, are you
$119.
familiar with the term born e-waste?
You know, it sounds insulting, but explain it to me.
I'm just saying, like, there are some products that are just made to just be dumped. But there's going to be people listening who have a system that doesn't have an NVMe slot, and it might have an old spinning hard drive. Like, you have a relative who has a 500 gigabyte spinning
they're on Windows 10
OS drive.
You're describing a Windows 10 box right now, aren't you?
Once these get really cheap, like if you can buy 2 terabytes for $50, people are going to buy these and use them for cold storage, maybe. But I wouldn't trust it as much as I trust a hard drive for cold storage.
Yeah, I don't know. This seems weird.
What is the bit rot prognosis rate for these particular drives? Because inside of that SATA case is one of those like half length. It's like an mSATA drive inside, and there's a bunch of empty space in there.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
But yeah, the market for the SATA upgrade is really shrinking, and you can see it in the price. They're trying to unload them.
All right, thank you. And Kent, I hope your pick this week is. I don't know. After last week, I don't know what to expect. So please.
So I am once again picking a book, and I have picked this book previously on the show, possibly on our no, not that one. Possibly on our Halloweenish episode last year, maybe. I know that it was a year or two ago.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite books I've ever read. It is called A Night in the Lonesome October by Roger Zelazny.
I like Roger.
It was out of print for many years. It was not one of his bigger selling books, and it was written pretty late in his career. It is one of the most enjoyable books I've ever read. I've probably read it more than anything except The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, of all the books I've ever read. And I read The Lord of the Rings once a year. So, it's a story that's told from a first-person narrative from Jack the Ripper's dog. Every classical Gothic horror character you can think of is represented in this book. There's also representation of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. And there's even some elements of Lovecraftian Cthulhu mythos in this book. And it is just a fun romp in a way, but it has a great story. It just came back into print last year, and simultaneously they finally released an official audiobook for it as well. You can get the paperback version for $17.70 if you're looking for a physical book. Kindle version $7.99, and the audiobook's 99 cents. And just like I say, I really love this book. And I like sharing it with people. I've had about 4 different copies of the paperback that I've loaned to people and never gotten them back. But the hard copy, it stays in my wife and I's library. And
apparently that can be had for just $99.73 on Amazon.
Oh,
get that hardcover version.
Yeah.
Rare and expensive.
Yeah.
Well, there's one part you missed out. This was the last book he ever published before he died.
I knew it was very late in his career.
It was the last.
I actually have...
sure there were some posthumous ones, but they're posthumous.
Yeah, I actually have... on my server, I actually have an audiobook version of it that he narrates. It's not a performance, and I enjoy it because it's just sort of like the author reading the book to you. It's really nice. That is not the version you can get anymore. And I got that one as well, and I enjoyed it just as much. But yeah, like I say, it's just one of my favorite books of all time, and I like sharing it with people because not a lot of people read it.
That's it for the PC Perspective podcast. Thank you for listening, watching this annual Halloween episode. We all got into the spirit of the Halloween experience. 3 of us have red backgrounds.
I thought we were going green for NVIDIA's and the cache. But
And I'm wearing a Darth Vader costume that I got from Spirit Halloween, thinking my son had all these trunk or treats lined up. There was like 5 of them. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to just go along in street clothes like I always do. I wanted to be involved or the center of attention, if possible. It's had no use at all. Because,
well, I hope it's really, really cold out for Halloween and there's not much traffic.
Okay. I don't know when the podcast actually ended, but
It's definitely over.
let's just end it. It's over. Go home.
You can't stay here.
Yeah. Watch the live version if you want to see what just happened. Good night, everybody.
Good night.